being a perfectionist in the music industry is never really the best way to go about things. As long as you do your best and you try to get to 100%, but hey, if you get it to 95 and it's gonna come out and it's gonna be what it is, it's okay. Hello, I'm Joe Wiseman, head of Insomniac Music Group. Always been a musical person. My family, none of us were like playing instruments or reading music or things like that, but grew up listening to, reggae and rock and roll. My parents were Deadheads, so I remember my first concert was a Grateful Dead concert when I was like 3 or 4 years old. So music was a big part of my childhood, and the importance of music just, being something that was just always on in the house. Again, none of us were, playing instruments or in bands necessarily, but it was just important for us to always have some sort of music on in the background, whether it was family dinners or, brunch on Sundays. I just always remember my parents putting on cassettes or CDs, vinyl sometimes, and always listening to what they grew up listening to. I grew up in Washington, D.C. Culturally, it's a very much so a hip-hop city, and grew up listening to a lot of rap and hip-hop. Dead Prez, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, early Kanye. A lot of stuff at the time was a big influence on me and just what I liked to listen to. So hip-hop was probably the dominant genre that I listened to for my childhood, teenage years, and then started really moving into the electronic music scene probably in high school and into college. That's when there obviously was a big boom in America with dance music, electronic music. So artists like Justice and deadmau5, early Diplo, things like that really got me into the dance music scene. And that's carried over the past 15 years or so and still in it. So what is Insomniac? Insomniac is the world's biggest dance music brand. It is globally recognized. It's based in North America, and majority of what we do happens here. But our presence, our footprint is global at this point. The core business is events. Pasquale Rotella, my boss, CEO of Insomniac, he started his first Insomniac show in 1993 in LA at a warehouse. From there, grew to festivals in Southern California. And then over the past two and a half decades or so, 3 decades, it's grown into a multimedia company, dozens of festivals happening around the world, clubs all over the world, concerts. It's a massive brand on the event side. From there, the company's also launched into other facets, including the record label side of things. Insomniac Records was launched 2014. Officially launched into the Insomniac Music Group, which is an umbrella of record labels underneath Insomniac in 2017, when it became independent. Insomniac has grown. It's even within the 10 years that I've been there, it's grown to kind of amazing new heights, and it's awesome to see from shows that I even attended at 14, 15 years ago, seeing the size of those shows and where they are now. It's awesome to see just the growth of Insomniac overall, from the events to the records to everything. So it's left its stamp in being a important cultural carrier of all things dance music, and pushing the culture forward and educating people about the culture, and honestly helping take it to almost the mainstream. The biggest festival per day in the U.S. is EDC, about tickets per day. So, a lot of people pay attention to what Insomniac's doing, not just on the live side, but also what we're doing on the music side. So, yeah, it's an important brand in the space, definitely. When I came on early on, about 10 years ago, there was a big debate or big conversation about what the direction of Insomniac Records was going to be. at the time it was very more centered on commercial kind of dance pop records. And I was actually working with our founder, Pasquale, and working with him on his radio show and getting a better understanding of what his taste was in his ear. And it really meshed with what kind of my ear was at the time, and really trying to be representative of what actual rave culture and electronic underground culture was at the time. And that obviously evolves year by year, and different genres come and go and waves come and go. But yeah, we've been very careful about not going too commercial with what we're releasing. Still, making sure we're servicing our fans and our audiences the best way possible, but not trying to step on the toes or the territory of what a major label would be doing in the dance music space. We know where we sit, and we know what we can do the best. DJ focused music is our specialty. We want to be a chart-topping label on Beatport all the time, and we want to be streaming well, but we also want to be streaming well with songs that DJs are playing, not just songs that are on the radio. And that's an important thing for us, and we've been super successful at that. We're consistently in like the top of the most played charts by DJs, and that's a real focus for us. Having a big, massive, huge hit, yeah, that's great, and we've had a couple of those as well. But personally, and I know the kind of the ethos and the goal of Insomniac overall is to have stuff that's culturally relevant, and that's what we focus on in our A&R. If we see that an artist is doing something a little bit different than the rest, there's just a little edge there that's like, they're a little bit ahead of the curve on certain things, and they're doing things that separate them from the field. And dance music, a lot of the times everything can kind of sound the same or feel the same or look the same. So whenever we come across someone that just goes a little bit around that and does something a little special, we jump on it. And if we see if that's resonating with their fans, if their own fan base or outside of their fan base, and it's moving, we definitely get excited by it. Also, if the music sounds, if it just sounds, wow, this is something special, our ears perk and our eyes perk up, and we're like, wow, this is something that we need to get behind. If they're doing really cool content stuff, if they're doing things that are above and beyond what others are doing on the marketing end, that excites us as well. If their live shows are amazing, and wow, his or her DJ set was just the best of the whole weekend at the festival, that also excites us as well. So a lot of different kind of avenues to get us excited as a label or as a talent buyer, a promoter, to get behind an artist. Yeah. I've been very lucky to have the event side to lean on to see how an artist is doing, how they, what their live show looks like. A lot of labels don't have that opportunity to throw a big, massive festival and yeah, see what an artist does and how fans react to their music, or how just fans react overall to just their set. So yeah, being able to go to our shows, watch the DJs play, see how people react to the demos they've been submitting, or just the releases that we've had out. It's a great opportunity to see what the possibilities are with an artist. Yeah, working with Fuga, it's been transformative in the growth of Insomniac Music Group. For a point in time, we were lacking the marketing and just support that we needed in Europe and certain other territories that we don't have people on the ground in. Fuga being a European-based company, that really helped, and that was a big selling point for us to join Fuga as our distributor. It's been awesome to see kind of the reach of our music now with the help of Fuga, getting into certain people's playlists and reaching certain editorial that we weren't able to maybe reach before, and just having that new lines of communication that weren't there. So that's been a great help. And again, on just the operation side of things, always seem to be pretty clean, super clean, which is great. Most important for us that when we put out a record, there's no issues with it, which is a priority for us as an independent label doing the amount of releases that we do. We want everything to come out and look good, be exactly the way that the artist wanted it to be. That's most important. And yeah, just the team overall has just been super, super helpful in helping us and just being an easy partner to work with and achieving our goals globally. And that's been the big thing. I've always felt very strong and able to do what we need to do in America, but being able to have people on the ground all over the world has been super helpful. 10 years ago, what would I have told myself? I would have said that at times you're going to need to, keep your head down, just power through, get through it, do the best you can. Being a perfectionist in the music industry is never really the best way to go about things. As long as you do your best and you try to get to 100%, but hey, if you get it to 95 and it's gonna come out and it's gonna be what it is, it's okay. Don't kill yourself over that. Also, just be aware that there's a lot of tough people in the industry that you're gonna have to work with along the way, and shake their hands, do what you gotta do, and keep moving forward, but never burn bridges or be disrespectful or just someone that you wouldn't want to work with yourself. So always being able to make sure that the way you communicate with others is on the high ground, let's just say. And yeah, just try to be proactive and go for more, do more than you think you can do. And if you're not able to get there, it's okay. But always being proactive and trying to think of what's next and what's new and what I can do different and this and that. That's always going to be helpful when you're getting into the industry.